So interesting because the free speech argument, usually I talk movies. This does kind of tie into that though. But one, Kanye West became a Nazi way ahead of his time. Like, this is now the time to be a Nazi, and you were too soon, man. But Kanye West, once again, being ahead of his time. Because now the far left and the far right are both Nazis. So, before Congress, these Ivy League leaders, one last name Gay, which is funny, started talking about how death to Jews and genocide of Jews isn't, fine under campuses being chanted because it's free speech, because it all depends on context. I'm like, one, you far left activists that are ones who had context argued against you by comedians and all these other people who are really pro free speech, and you always shunned it off as bigotry, and now you're saying context matters. The irony. Two, there's a difference of free speech and calls to action. Calls to action, just like you can't yell fire in a movie theater, is when you give an order. So if I'm a general and I'm standing on a stage and I have my battalion of troops in front of me, and I say something like, you know what, I don't like the Jews. They got big ass noses and they stink. Those soldiers ain't gonna react. They're probably gonna laugh and be like, what the fuck? But if I say, death to Jews, kill the Jews, they're gonna go kill the Jews because that's a call to action. It's a command. It's an order. So, yeah, killing is an order. Killing is a command. It's a call to action. That goes outside the parameters of free speech. So, these schools, just like Hollywood, which is always been depicting free speech as this bigoted thing, and context doesn't matter. Now they're preaching context, but because they have no understanding how free speech works, don't understand what calls to action are. So this is a blatant call to action. It's also it's obviously harassment. They're arguing it's not harassment because it depends on the context it's being used. I'm like, they're calling for the genocide of a very specific group of people, and that's obviously a minority in your school. So if you have students in your school and then you have a lot of them who want them dead, you want to kill them, how is that not harassment? So it's interesting just how far the far left has fallen. They've fallen so far. They've gone in such a circle. They're where the far right is. So now the far right and the far left are Nazis. Ye is way ahead of the game. He's before his time. I'm like, dude, you're not dead. This was your time period. You should be. He's like Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy's always saying, I did that first. He's probably like, I did that first. It's hysterical. So, yeah, all these principals should get fired.